will you please welcome to the stage the final storyteller tonight, Oz!
So I was having dinner with a friend. So it was a little more than a year ago. I was still in Chicago, planning to move to Portland. And she asked me, had I heard of orgasmic meditation or oming? You have. I hadn't. But as she began to tell me about it, understood that she was coming from a place of, by asking me this, she understood that I was interested in, can you have no strings attached sexual expression? I mean, really have it. And so I was flattered that she was asking me about going to a coached session of this orgasmic meditation. So I said, yeah, sure. Okay, so we went. And so I started researching and found out that there's this great idea by this Nicole Daedone, I think, and she does this great TED Talk where she explains that the whole OM movement is around the idea that women's pleasure is not, it's not understood, it's not talked about, it's not as simple as male orgasm, male pleasure. And what if you could wrap it in a no strings attached, no pressure, no expectation, and just be there and appreciate the experience of a woman's pleasure. And may or may not be orgasm, but at least you're there, and that's all there is to it. So we go to the coach session and meet the coach. Me and my friend Gene are there. The coach asks, so Oz, why are you here? I said, well, I like the idea of sexual expression without all kind of pressure. I don't have to be somebody's boyfriend or promise them anything or be some super guy in the bed or something. We can just have some expression, and I take my black ass home afterward. And it's all cool. And I might learn a new skill that I can take outside of the orgasmic meditation. So we go into a room, the three of us, and we lay out what they call a nest. Basically a yoga mat, and then a pillow for the woman's head, and then pillows for her knees when they're butterflied. And then they tell me about my position. Okay, now you gotta see this. So if she's laid out this way, with a vagina pointing this way, and her legs butterflied, I step over and squat down, and our soles of our feet are touching, and I have a finger here, and then my thumb is at the bottom of the vagina, and that's how it goes. Now look at this position. So we do the clothed run of this, and then it's time to do it for real. Okay, the coach says, okay, Gene, get undressed. So the woman just undresses from the waist down. That's it. The stroker stays fully clothed. So Gene pulls her panties down, and there's my friend's vagina. trimmed for the occasion. Yeah. So she lays down on the nest, and I do the whole, okay, I step over, okay, and she's guiding me through. And there's a lot of ritual around it. There are rubber gloves and lube and a timer. And the great part about the timer, the idea about that is you get 15 minutes. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever does not happen, does not happen. And that's okay. There's no pressure to get somewhere. And I like that idea. So I step over and I squat down, and they guide me through the way to open the lube and the proper way to put the gloves on. Because you want to have a little drop of lube on this finger so that you can smooth out any wrinkles because of all the many nerve endings in the clitoris. She'll feel a wrinkle if it's there. So you just dab a lube, put the glove on, smooth out any wrinkles, put the other glove on, and get a little bit of lube right here in case you need more. Okay? And the idea being, any woman and any stroker should be able to get together. And so you don't want human skin to ever touch the lube. So there's lots of ritual here. And so they go through and show me about how to take the lube and moisten the vagina and spread the lips, pull the hood back, expose the clitoris, and a certain way to stroke the clitoris. And what do you do with this hand? Okay, so there's your thumb goes in about half the nail into the bottom of the vagina and just rests there. Okay, Oz, no, that's too much. That's too much. Okay, there's a shorter strokes there, shorter strokes. Okay. Gene, and the coach said, Gene, what do you want? Faster, slower, more pressure, less pressure, whatever? I said, more pressure. Okay, yeah. All right. So I can feel her breathing a bit. The timer is going. Yeah. So we get to the 15 minutes, and Jean didn't have an orgasm or anything, but, I could feel her breathing. She's getting into it a bit. And so when the time is up, then there is a way of bringing the leg back over and holding her hand, sitting up, and face to face, you do what's called share frames. Okay, what happened? What was the experience like for you? She says, I felt like hot fire shot out of the soles of my feet at one point. Okay, and the coach says, all right, that's nice, Jeans. Okay, so Oz, you share a frame. What's there for you? Well, there's no judgment here. What's there for you? My legs fell asleep. Now you get this position that I was in for 15 minutes. Well, Oz, that's okay. That's what was there for you. There's no judgment. Okay? So we get, Jean gets dressed and we go out and she thanks me for coming and we hug and we go off. And that's great. I learned something. I don't have to stay and sleep next to somebody. I can go get some pizza or something. So she asked me if I'd like to do it again. So, but just the 2 of us, no coach, just the 2 of us. And we did it about 5 times on our own. And, I would drive across Chicago, go lay out the mat, put the gloves on, and lube, and get the timer going, step over, and all the thumb is, just stroking, and you're breathing. And at some point, it turned into, your thumb is in too far. Okay, I got a lot of stuff to think about down here. I'm listening, she tells me, faster, slower, whatever. And then one time, I'm starting to get frustrated here because, shoot, I'm telling you, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm in this weird position. My legs keep going to sleep. My back is hurting. And you just, your thumb is in too far. Now, this is what I'm dealing with. As one time, she says, a little more pressure. Passive-aggressive me is coming out. So I just add more pressure and don't say anything. She says, you're supposed to acknowledge me. Okay, all right. Now I'm back in the Navy, driving the submarine, and the diving officer says, full dive on the Fairwater Plains. Full dive on the Fairwater Plains, aye. Full dive on the Fairwater Plains, very well. Okay, let's play that game. More clitoris, more pressure on the clitoris, ma'am. And I'm just looking at this, and I'm driving to do this favor, and I'm looking at the time, it's just 15 minutes, 14, it's down to 9 minutes. My feet are tingling, and you need more lube. Okay, God damn it, I need more lube. Let's put some more lube on. And it's just getting nasty, and outside of the nest, we start having these arguments. They say, well, Ozzy, you aren't even carrying around your own nest. This started as a favor. I'm getting ready to move to Portland. I'm not starting new hobbies and grabbing more equipment for stuff. No, I'm getting rid of stuff. I'd get these messages. I was supposed to own with somebody tomorrow. He can't come, but I need a stroker. Are you available? Okay. Because I want this to work. I like the idea of no expectation. You just have the expression. The idea of it is great, but somewhere this thing turns sideways. So there was this one time where I said, look, maybe we need to do the coach thing again. And maybe a coach can get some idea of this is an Oz gene dynamic that's fucking up here. Are we doing it wrong? What is maybe a coach can help us. So she arranges a coach session. Oz, it's this date. And there's time. So, okay, I rearranged my schedule because I do not want to do another OM with just me and her. It's got to be with a coach. So I rearranged my schedule. And I drive. I got to drive across Chicago 8 miles and stop and go traffic. About 4 miles in, I am at the intersection of Irving Park Road and Western Avenue when I get a text message, it's okay, I got another stroker. I go across the intersection and pull into a CVS and say, text back, don't ask me about this OM shit ever again. That was enough for me. But then I had to stop and then check in with myself and say, I'm having an extreme reaction here. Yeah. And we started this with the idea that this wouldn't get weird. That, that we weren't trying to start a relationship. This wasn't about being some superhero and having some explosive experience. So what's going on with me? That she got another stroker. Okay, she doesn't really owe me anything. But why am I so upset about this? Well, I felt like a random piece of meat. I felt like the meat that you can take out and cook it and change your mind and put it back in the refrigerator. Get something else. And when I started to feel dehumanized, and then think, I am a stroker. She's a woman. I'm a stroker. And you get another stroker. She got another stroker. Okay. So what I was left with is, can you truly have no strings attached? Well, hell, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can truly have no strings attached as long as you don't cut that string called appreciation and dignity.